Welcome to episode 63 of Lost in Immersion, your weekly 45-minute stream about innovation. As VR and AR veterans, we will discuss the latest news of the immersive industry. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
So, Fabien, if you want to start, as usual, please.
Yeah, cool. Thanks. So I have a few updates today. The first one I want to discuss is actually something that I just tried right before the podcast. Is I saw that the Vision OS 2 beta version was available, so I installed it and tested it very quickly. So the first thing that happens when the update is installed is you have to rescan your face. So there is an update on the persona. So to be honest, I didn't see a huge difference between the previous update and the current one. I think it's still looking pretty cool, just as usual, a bit like uncanny. The face expression and the way it reacts, there is absolutely no delay. The face expression are really good. So I realized that in the video it's pretty small, so it should be quite hard to see, but yeah, the quality is really good. So yeah, that's it for this one. Nope. I don't know if I mentioned it, but the process to actually scan is very fast. Like, so you have to put the Vision Pro in front of you. There is a few, like, there's to close your eyes, to raise the eyebrow, to smile with the teeth out, to look right, left, up, down, and that's it. And to show the hands once you, no, before you scan the face, you show the hands. So all the process takes up like, I don't know, 2, 3, 4 minutes max. So it's actually pretty impressive. So that's the first update. The other one is there are new gesture to navigate. So this gesture that you can see here, try to move this, yeah, so it's a flip of the hand and a pinch, actually pretty similar to what is on the Quest. So with the palm up to bring up the menu. And if you flip the hand the other way, you have access to the control center and to the volume of the sound volume. I had to get a bit used to it, but you know, it's yeah, thumbs up. It's very reactive. I think when we discussed the Vision Pro update a few weeks back, we were wondering if it will collide with the standard usage in the other apps. So that's something that I didn't have time to test because yeah, I just tested it right now, but it seems pretty natural to do. And maybe it's deactivated when an app is full screen. I need to try that. So that's the second update. For now, pretty convinced about it. It's indeed much easier than reaching to the crown, and it's much easier than looking up to reach to the control center. So in my opinion, it's an improvement. And the last one is they use AI to transform like a flat picture into spatial picture. So I tested that as well. It's available. So the icon here is a bit different than on a spatial on a spatial picture. It's very quick, as you can see, just a few seconds to transform the picture. And the results are actually pretty good. I could see the depth in the image. I tested another picture. I don't have it here in the recording, but with something much closer to the camera, and the depth was really present. I could really see the 3D on the video. So yeah, again, just as a very quick test, it works quite well. So yeah, that's the three things that I tested just right now. So maybe we can discuss that first. Seb, do you have any comments or questions?
No, I will be keen to test this 2D picture to 3D in the Vision Pro. I saw that there might be some things going on the Quest 3 doing similar things. So I may try it on the Quest 3 on my end. But it's quite nice. I was wondering, when you tried something close to the camera, was it blurry behind when you were rotating and trying to look behind the thing that was closer to the camera? Or do they reconstruct the background and use AI to compensate the fact that
I
you don't have the information about what is behind the user or the object?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I don't know. I will need to try it again to look into the details, but it wasn't shocking. It was actually pretty natural, like moving around. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, regarding the persona, don't know if there is any improvement on that. Like you said on the video, it's hard to see. I saw also that they released a lot of advice and video on how to implement correctly different things in the scene, like getting the real light environment, so your object are get environment light, environment map on them and look more realistic, and also a way to transition between the virtual environment that you display in the headset, so even the environment map match what level of immersion you are in, if you are fully immersed in the VR environment or in your room, or even in between. The map seems to take into account both. So, and there is a lot of things like translucent materials, things to really improve the quality of the experience. So that's great that they are providing advice to developer on how to use their headset and make better experiences, and that they keep to release updates. And now, like you said, for the interactive gesture that triggers stuff, I I really wonder how it will work with inside the app, if it's needs to be implemented by the developer, if they want this functionality to be available for the user during the app while using the app that they developed, or is it only for the menu when you're outside an app? That I'll be keen to have an answer to that, because I guess it will mess if it's available during a game or something. I guess this kind of gesture that you were showing is the one that you will do inside the game, or so it will definitely bother you. So yeah, if you have the ability to test that, Fab, and give a feedback, that would be great.
Yeah, I will test that. And my guess is that it will not be available. No, sorry, not be detected when the full screen app, but maybe available during the standard
Hmm,
special apps. So
that would make sense.
yeah, I will try that.
Hmm.
Yeah. Guillaume, any comments?
Everything that Seb said. Not much more to add.
Okay, cool. And then one, so it was AWE last week. So it's one of the biggest conference about um, our field, immersive experiences, AR, VR, and so on. And I saw these glasses, similar, they are like standalone glasses made by Entity, so it's a Japanese company. one of the major telecom company here in Japan. And I'm actually really curious, and I didn't find any explanation at how the display is working. So you can see here a picture of the display, and here how it looks taken from a smartphone. And in the audio, they say that we cannot see as we really see in the with the eyes. So I'm curious if you guys know how that works, what the type of display they are using. Um, yeah, if you know that, it would be really curious to know.
I don't personally. So Guillaume, if you have any.
No, no, I didn't see these glasses. It's it's very interesting to see that no one talked about this much, and I also don't know how it can work, especially the curve line at the bottom. You can imagine that they are playing with the capability of the eye to generate an image, even if it's striped down with these different lines horizontally. But no, don't have any much more information than you. Uh, you just have to read the Japanese part on the right, no?
I used the translate, and he says similarly like he cannot figure out how to record it properly, so we can actually see what the quality is. Um, so this is why you have the crying smiley here. But yeah, so what's interesting here also, except for apart from the display, which didn't really know how it works, it's like, yeah, a full autonomous glasses. They have camera, captors, and so on. He says here that it seems like the tracking is very similar to the X-Real Air 2 Ultra. So I will keep looking at this if news come up with the maybe the price, if we're able to test things like that. There is an event in 2 weeks in Tokyo where last year there was Meta. If you remember, I tried that butterscotch headset at that event. So I'm hopeful that Entity will have a booth, and again, hopeful. That's a lot of hope to be able to test this one. So yeah,
But you're the man of the situation if you want to try this.
yeah,
You're the closest one.
yeah. And the last update. So there was a lot of updates and news and press release during the AWE. One thing that I found interesting is 8thWall. They released the studio. So before that, 8thWall was only script. Even if they had an editor, everything was done from code. Now they have a studio that really looks like, um, any studio like Play Canvas or other a studio like that. One thing I really liked is you can connect your device. So it shows a QR code, you scan the QR code, and hopefully the page is, yeah, you can see the changes that you do, you save the changes, and it's automatically applied. It reloads the page. I think that's really good to test in real time on an actual device. So yeah, nothing much to say except that it will allow more and more people access to creation of apps with 8thWall. So increasing the speed to market as well for projects like that. So it's pretty cool. So yeah, I don't know if you have anything to say on this studio. Otherwise, I will let you, Seb.
No, the studio seems nice. Indeed, it's great to have a real tool implement and test right away what you are implementing in augmented reality. Is very important to always try it while developing it to make sure it's working correctly. One thing though is that do they still keep their license fee the same as before, or has it changed at all? Do you know?
It changed now. Yeah, same. The editor is free,
Hmm.
but yeah, the license is still the same.
So you can test it for free and test different scenario, but you can't share it with someone else. It needs to be linked to your account. And
So with 8thWall, you have like a demo license that you can, you can share. But if it's a commercial project, then yeah, you have to use to buy the commercial license.
Yeah, I had the same remark as Seb, meaning that the biggest update we wanted was about the license fee, the license fee.
Yeah.
If they could make it a bit cheaper for a smaller studio and so on, it would be great because it's really shaped for big commercial application. And if you have smaller projects, it's completely incompatible with the use of 8thWall. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, over to you, Seb.
sure. So on my side, also news about Augmented World Expo and updates surrounding that. And on my side, I wanted to talk about the Lens Studio, which was released also last week, and so the new version, the version 5, which in which they added the support for AI and so AI to generate different environment and also different 3D object and texturing an object. So, for example, so you can train in the environment a model and then apply it to your scenario. So here they were showcasing adding a filter where you can have a panda face on top of you. Here they are showcasing how to in-paint a picture so you look like a character from an animated movie or a style that you apply based on picture that you provide. 3D generation also. You type your text with a prompt or you provide an image and you say what you want and it directly generate a 3D model for you. And then this 3D model, you can also generate texture for it and apply it directly inside the studio. And they also released a way to display Gaussian splatting. So that you are able to import Gaussian splat directly inside the app. And here is a couple of tests of user. So the helmet here, the football helmet, American football helmet, was scanned with a phone, exported to Gaussian splat, and then used directly inside the Lens Studio. And there is a couple of examples like that from the same guy. Here he scanned another hair of someone else and applied it to his own face. And another example here with some flower. So quite an impressive release for in one update. They added a lot of things. We'll see how great they are working, but yeah, it's a nice improvement, and the Gaussian splat directly embedded inside their tool is kind of a great improvement for user to generate new content. So Guillaume, if you have Any
Yeah,
comments on that?
it's very nice to see the results of the Gaussian splat integration. We know that to achieve this kind of results, you have to do some kind, not intensive, but spend quite some times cleaning your Gaussian initial Gaussian splat to have this very beautiful, very detailed, and without any um splat noises around.
Mm.
But yeah, I get the integration of Gaussian splat inside a whole bunch of different application is now on the way. We know Luma AI that has done it for quite some months now, and we can see that every studio is doing so. I'm very curious to know why some software like Metashape, which is completely dedicated to the point clouds and 3D rendering, 3D scans, is not integrating the Gaussian splat support yet, as it seems to be quite fast to do in other software or as other studios. So I'm really waiting for this feature because we know that they are very efficient in rendering the point clouds and working with this. It's still one of the best software for doing this kind of stuff. So yeah, very curious to know why they didn't do this yet. But yeah, the results are great. And once again, do you have some information about the licensing fee? I guess this is the subject here, but when you are working with this kind of very integrated with a lot of tools, it's very interesting to work with. But do you have information about the licensing fee for this as
it
well?
it's in beta right now,
Mhm.
so no, I need to dig into that. That's the next step, to see how much it will cost to develop these kind of features. And I guess for AI, it's using their own server, so there should be cost somewhere. I don't think they
Mhm.
will release that for free, so
No.
I will dig into that and let you know next
Okay,
week.
great. Thanks, Fabien.
Yeah, it's really cool to see how like all the major social networks app like Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat, they have their AR engine, and Snapchat has always been ahead, with like the vision VPS. The name is slipping my mind right now, but the ability to locate outside in the city, all the feature and the quality of all these features has always been at the top compared to the other. So it's indeed, as you were saying, Seb, it's a lot of new updates in just one release. So pretty interested to test it, to see how far we can push it. And I know they also have like a web SDK and I think a Unity SDK, if I'm correct.
That's right.
So that opens up also other opportunities outside of Snapchat itself, which is really cool. So yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know,
That's it
they
for me.
did not talk about it, but there is still this limitation when you release lens for Snapchat, which is that your lens needs to be 8 megabyte, so quite small. But they are opening up this kind of content where it's all generated online, so I don't know if there is anything inside the lens at all for this kind of thing. And same for the Gaussian splatting, if it's using the Gaussian splatting and pulling that online. Is it outside of the 8 megabyte and you can then do much more than what you could do before? Or yeah, that's a lot of that we need to do to see what it's open up now. And that's it for that subject. The next one, it's also it was also presented at the Augmented Reality Expo in Long Beach last week. So it's a kind of a better version of what we see in the Vision Pro that was released by Ultra Reality. This one is a bit strange because it's only visible from one angle, but these glasses are quite impressive in the way they are recreating the face behind the mask. Could be fake at because I don't know if there is a real head behind the mannequin that they used. But yeah, the rendering is much more impressive than what we have right now with the Vision Pro. So it's nice to see that some company is trying to move forward on this part, because right now it's not usable as it is in the Vision Pro, or a bit as a gadget. So yeah, Guillaume, if you have any thought about that.
Yeah, well, it's very interesting to see that companies are stepping in this kind of features, as we already know that it will be abundant in the future Vision Pro release next year or the year after, because yeah, it's taking a lot of power. It's not that efficient, and I guess people are not very fond of it also. So yeah, why persist in this way while we obviously know now that it's not a cool feature. Well, it was at the beginning, but now, well, again, people are over it. So we'll see the future of this company to see if they can stay, or maybe they are targeting the robotic part, because we know that it's very complicated to recreate a human face through mannequin heads. So maybe this is a solution for them to just have a display of a human face or other kind of face, and it would be an easier integration than recreate a synthetic head, maybe. But yeah, very curious to know their future.
Fabien?
Yeah, I don't have a lot of things to say about that. Just like it looks really sci-fi to me. Like there are a lot of science fiction movie or badly like real, but like when you see really that the face is like stamped on the movie. So yeah, it's funny, but I didn't thought about the robotic applications, but maybe that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, to have a real face to talk to. Yeah, that could change a bit. The next one is Haptics, which revealed their new gloves, haptic gloves, which are much more precise than the previous version that they had, with a lot more actuators and force feedback in the gloves. However, when I see the video, it still seems very heavy and big on yourself. There still seems to be using air compressor in your backpack. So I will be keen to try it again, but it's still really big and only for industrial use case where you need really precise gesture to be trained. Or they showcase also that with this, they're able to replicate on a robot the same gesture. So maybe to teach the robot on how to do some interaction, and then use AI, I guess, to train that model and have the robot making specific gesture and specific action. That could be useful, or to do operation on a distance field where it's quite dangerous for a human being to be there, and use this to control the robot in really delicate gesture. Other than that, I don't see it being used by a standard user right now. So same, if you have any thought about that, Guillaume?
It seems really natural and lightweight. Yeah, they're trying to showcase that it's not that uh, heavy, and but yeah, you can obviously see that people are struggling moving, not not their hands, but the whole arms and so on. You can see that the backpack is not very light, and yeah, once again, I believe the haptic feeling should be great, but the whole equipment is clearly a no go for, as you mentioned, for a global use. It's really dedicated to some very specific industrial tasks. So yeah, we were still not in the mini, yeah, smaller form factor of haptic devices. We are still on the huge one.
Très bien. Any thought?
Yeah, I don't have much to say. I think you said it all. I think I saw like a Vive tracker. Am I correct in that video?
Yes.
So it's So it seems like they are also using different type of motion capture as well as the force feedback. So it was interesting to see.
Yeah, and compared to the previous version that they showcased even at Laval Virtual this year, the current version that they were showcasing was using like something very big on the finger. So when you were touching or doing a gesture, even pinching was weird, because you were at maximum, you were able to do this and not really close your finger on the object you were pinching. So because the plastic was really big on your finger. Here they seem to have made that really thin on the finger, with a lot of sensation even in each finger. So I really would like to try it, because I had some I heard some person and look at a post where people are saying that even doing a steering gesture and having the feeling of really handling the steering was quite amazing. So it's quite a small object, and they were saying like, yeah, putting the finger next to it and missing the spot, you were not getting any feedback, and when you were on the spot, you were really feeling the back of the steering. So yeah, I'm really keen to try it, because it's really the force feedback and the haptic feedback change a lot the experience that you feel in virtual reality. And the last one is a more funny one. So this company is releasing an hoverboard for VR to allow you to play. It's really for gaming, to move yourself as you were on an hoverboard. So I'm not sure how it feels, because you won't get the acceleration. I don't know how the body will react to it. But yeah, same. I would be keen to try it and see how it performs, and if it's giving me motion sickness, because I'm quite sensible to this kind of experience. So, but that's interesting to see another way of doing motion. Instead of having a treadmill, here it's way more smaller, and on some use case it could be fun to use on some kind of game. I think that could be fun. What is your thought, Guillaume, on that?
It's a great way to break your knees if you're bending too far forward, I guess. But they should have thought about this. But yeah, very strange. Once again, because of this knee strap, not very into it.
Comfortable.
Yeah,
Mm.
I'm not sure about the initial position. It doesn't seem very natural, but I'm always surprised about the imagination and creativity of those companies that are thinking out of the box to try to solve this locomotion issue we have in VR. We always think that is yeah, we've reached the top of what we can do with all the different treadmills and sliding boards and you have the sliding boots as well and the rolling
Mm.
one. And yeah, it's always a great thing to see new devices because it should create a new kind of traction or ideas to other company and maybe finally find the best product for us to create this locomotion effect. Yeah, it's really not natural when you see the guy bending,
Mm.
leaning forward and just getting it on his knees. Yeah.
But having tried on a treadmill, I can say that
Yeah,
it's
I
not
can't
natural
see
at
the
all.
video.
Mm. Okay, so basically the person are on a stand
Sorry.
with the knee locked.
No, I mean, it's I could see the video, but I cannot see it very well. It's just like so the thing is static, but it turns,
Yeah.
or it's just really static.
No, it turns.
Okay, yeah, interesting. It's funny the demo this with a Pico, right? I
Mm.
think
Yeah.
Yes.
headset. Yeah. Have you seen also these shoes? Like so you like kind of slide with the shoes.
Mm.
It's also like I was like it could be really easy to fall down with these. I don't know. Maybe it's actually pretty good. Didn't dig into it.
On all of them, it seems that you need to change the way you walk and adapt to it. So it doesn't seem natural at all. So, like Guillaume said, I don't think we have right now a solution for that that is perfect. All of them are trying different ways of simulating the work, and we'll see which direction goes further. And that's it for me. Guillaume, if you want to move on
Yeah.
your subject.
So at the AWE, once again, Sony unveiled their new Enterprise XR headsets that they showcased during the E3 at the beginning of the year. So they allowed. So just as a reminder, the headset it's a standalone one. And direction pinch stylus and here we are. And they explain that their first experience with this headset were not good. It was not good at maybe not at all, but yeah, meaning that the field of view is smaller than with other competitors right now. And what bothered them the most was the interaction with the new controllers. Apparently, the pinch one it was very hard to get the pinch, and the stylus was not very precise as well. So they are not doing a conclusion on this because they tried it in a trade show situation. We know that depending on the light and people around, it can affect tracking and performances as well. So they are waiting for the official release to provide us with a final decision about this. But apparently, it's less efficient than a Quest 3 with the Logitech MX stylus, MR stylus. Sorry, we presented last week. So the last part is about the price. We don't have prices yet, so we'll see. But to complete this in this topic, we have also the announcement that VR division. So if you just as a reminder, we know that they released the PS VR2 despite the fact that there was inflation and the financial economic situation was not as great, and obviously it impacted their sales with very low numbers, and they didn't catch up with that yet. And to like balance this, they offered PC support for their PSVR2, I guess, for them to be able to sell it to other users than PS5 users. And so you can see that the whole situation with the virtual reality at Sony is not that bright, because they are not selling a lot of hardware. The game development has been stopped. Currently, there are only 2 projects on the go, so very low. Yeah, you can see that there is not a lot of effort in this, and it's still the same problem here. If you don't have games, there won't be new users, so everything is the same issue here. So yeah, very curious to know what are your thoughts about this Sony situation. Do you think that they will abandon VR in the upcoming months, or are they trying to balance it completely to the professional side, because at some point they will have to sell their new mixed reality headset, and if the reviews are as bad as we could read, it's really yeah, it's a scary situation for Sony at this point. Fabien?
Yeah. It's I guess it's a difficult situation for them. One thing that I noticed in the video about the professional one, and I didn't thought about that as well, is actually the ring is quite nice when someone is working, let's say on a keyboard, for example, and wants to do something in a mixed reality. They don't have to grab another device, they can just act real quick without really going away from the keyboard. So I found it was like quite interesting. But yeah, if it's the only really plus about this headset, yeah, I really hope, as you said, that the maybe it was a beta version, or the environment of the trade show was not the best for spraying. But yeah, as you mentioned it and we spoke about it last week, the Logitech stylus is like 130 USD,
130, yeah,
something like
130 US.
so it's pretty cheap, and if the precision is as good as they claim, they can also like grab part of the market as well. So yeah, again, I mean, I think maybe we say it every week since we started the podcast, but the VR MR industry is moving quite fast. There are a lot of things happening right now.
Yeah, their global pace seemed to be too slow for the market right now, because they announced it in January, and the headset is already old in VR terms, meaning that the technology is not as high or as advanced, or what of compared to Apple or Meta. So yeah, you have to keep the pace, and not everyone can do this. And one of the thoughts that I have looking at this video is I had some thoughts about links that we completely forgot, and we don't have any news about them anymore. So I don't know where they are, and yeah, it unfortunately it confirms our prediction, meaning that they lost their slots. They could have released the headset just before the Apple Vision Pro, and it could have been a success. And now it's too late for them as well.
Yeah, what I find interesting is that they are the first one releasing an headset with the new Snapdragon
Yeah.
XR2 Plus Gen 2, which is higher than the Quest 3. So I would like to have some feedback on the pass-through quality, because also they changed the design and the camera seems to be in front of the eyes, with the display right in front of the eyes also. So maybe there is a lot of improvement there that has not been discussed, because they are focusing only on the fact that they are using different controllers. And like you said, maybe the controller are not working great, because in this kind of environment you can have lighting, Bluetooth issue, Wi-Fi, and a lot of things that are bothering the headset.
Yeah, this is the worst condition you can have. We all know this from different experiences. That the trade show one are yeah, it's a nightmare.
Especially this one about technology, where there is technology everywhere around your booth. So, but yeah, very keen to know about the pass-through quality, because that's still the key point for me for mixed reality experiences, which is the thing that I would like to develop the most with this kind of headset. So, but in terms of quality of the screen, it seems like the what they are displaying seems to be, at least I had those feedback I found those feedback online. It seems like the quality is very sharp now. I did not heard about the field of view, like you said, Guillaume. So I don't know if it's a bad thing. It really depends on the way you wear the headset, because this one is more to be worn in front of your eyes. So maybe there is a way to put it back a bit, or adjust it a bit differently to have it more closer to your eyes and have a bigger field of view. And also I quite like their form factor, the fact that you can develop and use it to flip it and talk to someone else, and then flip it back and go back to your experience. That's really something that is not implemented yet in most of the headset, and is really really great. For example, on the HoloLens 2 that has that, it's just perfect to use.
Yeah, but about the flipping side, if you watch closely to the different people using the flipping feature, apparently the flipping is not high enough. So you have to bend your head like this to be able to see your screen. So once again, I very like the sleeping side feature because it was on the mixed reality Microsoft mixed reality headsets as well, and it works really well when you're developing. But yeah, if the headset is not can't flip high enough, and you have to bend, it's complete failure for me at this point. But yeah, maybe it's because people were not wearing it the way it should be, and the flipping was not the best position for them. But we'll see as well with the final review when it will be released.
Yeah, the head strap is also a bit strange for me. The
Mm-hmm.
way they are placing it, they seem to have kept the design they had for the PSVR.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure it's the most comfortable way of doing things. Only having something on the surrounding and not something on the top of your head.
Mm-hmm.
And also the balance with the balance. However, I had some feedback about that. It seems that the balance on the headset is good. So they seem to have released battery at the same weight of the front part. So that's great. To be tested, yes.
Yeah, that's it for me. Do you have anything more to add this week? No. Okay, so that's it for today. See you guys next week for another episode of Lost in Immersion.
Thanks.
Bye.
See you next week. Have a good week.